I want to welcome our three distinguished colleagues here, the soon-to-be distinguished when he comes in the door, Senator Durbin, Senator Alexander, who's an old friend, and he and I were governors together, and I wanted him to make me the president of Vanderbilt, and he never did, but I do love him. And Senator Enzi, who I met when he had long sideburns and was mayor of Gillette, and who I co-sponsored this bill with in 2001. So we got some history there. And I'd invite all of you, if you can, when you're finished your testimony, just come up and join us on the dais and be part of the questioning. So if that's of interest to any of you, there is a seat for you and a welcome. This is about the legislation to the Marketplace Fairness Act, and I am pleased to join them in their efforts to get this legislation into law. I know that Senator Enzi has worked on this issue for more than a decade, and I recall that Senator Enzi's original bill on this issue was referred to this committee. That's not a macho statement, that's just a fact. And he is to be commended for his commitment on this issue. I've always thought it was the right idea and co-sponsored that first bill with Senator Enzi, just as I am co-sponsoring his current bill. When he first introduced this bill, it was not a popular idea. And it may not be today, but I don't care. It's the right thing to do. Over time, more people have come to understand that this is an issue of basic fairness and critical to states' financial health, precarious health, not just now, but in the future. There is a growing bipartisan consensus on this, and not only here, but around the country, that the Congress should address this issue. In West Virginia, we're fighting to keep our small towns vibrant. We have nothing but small towns. Our largest town is 50,000, barely. And that we just keep it a little bit above 50 so it can qualify for certain government grants. Where it actually is, I'm not entirely sure. But we need local retailers. I'm sick of traipsing up and down our streets and in our small communities and seeing all these shuttered stores where people used to do business. We need local retailers to make that happen. I believe we can have both a vibrant Main Street economy and e-commerce businesses, both. Let's be honest, allowing states to collect sales tax on online purchases will not stop the growth of e-commerce. Now, I'll be interested in any arguments to the contrary. But no matter where or how the purchase is made, our commerce needs the revenue from these sales to fund basic functions of state government. As I recall, when I was governor many years ago, I think about 70% of the sales tax went to our school system. Now, obviously, it doesn't. I think that's right. When we debated the internet sales tax reform 10 years ago, internet commerce was still in its relative infancy. Fewer people had online access, and many were reluctant to share their credit card information, for heaven's sakes, with online retailers, for heaven's sakes. But as the internet has grown, so too has the consumer's confidence in internet transactions. Millions of consumers now click and buy online with ease. Because sales tax is collected for most internet transactions, consumers know how they can benefit from a 5 to 10% discount online. In fact, the mobility of cell phones allows shoppers to scan products for information. This bothers me so much. They can wander around our local stores, hardware, whatever, book, and they can sort of check things out, see what they want, and then they go buy it online. I think that's terrible behavior. And it's very costly to our states, and I think it's very wrong. Again, I think that's profoundly unfair to traditional shops. There are, after all, small businesses. Small businesses are always in peril. And they end up serving as a kind of a display case for consumers who see the product in person but buy it online to avoid paying state sales tax. State and local governments are losing billions. West Virginia loses a staggering $100 million a year. In my opinion, that this revenue could be used to help, for example, in those couple of years before Medicaid expansion, if governors go that direction, kicks in, there's a couple of years where more money is needed from the states, and it could go to this. And it could go back to the Board of Education. It could go to lots of things. $100 million is a lot of money. Welcome, Senator Durbin. And after you've given your testimony, if you want to come up and join us up here, you'd be welcome. If Congress does nothing, we'll end up with states forced to raise income or property taxes to offset the growing losses of state tax revenue, which is just a fact. That doesn't seem like the right solution to me. To be clear, this debate is not about imposing new taxes. It is not. Instead, it's just allowing states to collect taxes they are currently owed under existing law, but are being systematically avoided. Today's technology, with the tremendous advances made in recent years, makes tax collection simply cheap and reliable. In many ways, the Internet is the perfect environment to collect sales tax because it can be automated. And our witnesses will talk to us about that. I know there's still debate on this point. I look forward to hearing from the witnesses about the cost that business will bear and why they believe that small business exemption is not enough to alleviate these concerns. So I look forward to the testimony that will be forthcoming.